Welcome back, everybody, one and all, to the Umbrella Academy Season 2 podcast. I'm Dolan.
I'm Pheonix, the
Uh,
host? Not host.
yeah, I
Host?
get this is your channel, man.
Yeah,
You're the host.
I'm the host, yeah.
Yeah, I own this place.
Yeah.
I would like to start this episode off with a formal apology. The entire episode, we called Klaus Claus.
We did?
Like Santa Claus, the entire episode. Like, at least I caught calling Vanya Vanna, but the whole episode we called Klaus Claus. The whole time.
I didn't even realize that because I've been calling it, when I talk about it outside of this, I was saying Klaus.
See, but the thing is, when we were talking about it earlier, you were saying Claus.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, canceled.
I feel so bad for
Pheonix is over party.
I don't know.
He deserves better. I mean, I guess he did get better. He's like the leader of a cult.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're gonna start talking about Klaus, I can go to the end of my notes. He's basically Jesus.
He's pretty much. He's basically Jesus.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the symbolism, like the painting, especially at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
That was some great symbolism there.
Oh,
man.
The one guy that went into the jail cell with him and was
like the student?
Yeah, the bowing down to him, and he has the tattoos on his hands. It's all coming together. Allison seeing the tattoos, it was like, hey, that's
they're
cool.
all starting to kind of like their worlds are starting to collide again.
Mm-hmm. Luther and Allison. That was an interesting way. I'm starting to believe her amnesia is real, and I don't.
Oh, it's totally real.
It's 100% not because of the car.
Really? You don't think so?
I have down her power, or her amnesia might be real because at the very end she was overtaken by her powers, and I think that might have something to do with like her being blinded. I don't know. That seems like it might make sense.
That could be a theory. I'm personally still sticking with the car thing, but you know that very well could be like the powers stuff.
And I think Klaus has definitely been there the longest. Luther's only been there a year. He did say, "I've been here a year." Yeah, he said that. Yeah, I have that written down.
Yeah, I'm really interested in like how they all seem to have like these like intertwining stories with Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
Like, especially, like, Lee Harvey Oswald being the assassin for the president, or the supposed assassin, and then 5 tying in because he was the one that was supposed to kill the president in season 1, so that ties him in with it. Diego going after him.
Luther working for the guy who, like... Because I think in the episode
Ruby.
he's...
Mr. Ruby.
Yeah, he's affiliated with Oswald too.
I remember that, but I don't remember how. I just have Mr. Ruby, and then I have like under it, Luther's been there a year. So.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to see like how much Luther's perspective has changed in just a year.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I think I said last time that it was like he just took charge, and then in only a year he was able to just completely forget that mindset and just screw the academy. Basically.
It's true, yeah, and that's I'm interested to see how it changes because you know with the worlds colliding, you know, with Allison being there, I'm wondering how that's going to affect him in the future because you know there used to be like this huge dichotomy between Allison and Luther, you know, back when they were like brother sister lovers. But now that I know it sounds weird, but like then it sounds even weirder when you try to explain it because like, oh, they're not biological, which sounds like the plot to a lot of movies I've seen in my time. So I'm not sure if I want this in my Netflix special, but Allison's kind of moved on. Yeah. You know, she's got her own husband and she is starting to kind of slip up on her promise to not do the powers again.
Well, I think
I think that too sometimes, quite a bit.
Yeah. But it might be just a thing of she got her like in the I need to process this. And the time that it took her to from when she lost the ability to use her powers and being able to talk again, somewhere in there didn't see any of the transition in between there, so it might have something that happened there.
It's true. And if season 2 doesn't have some sort of like a flashback moment where they at least touch on that subject, I'm going to be very unhappy.
Umbrella Academy loves flashbacks, so there's no way that they're not going to. So,
well, I mean, it's such a big plot point at the end of season 1 too.
Yeah, it's like the entire reason that Vanya goes back to the academy after the whole Herb is another character.
Yeah.
The guy, I'm just gonna call him the conductor. Edward, the guy without the eye.
I have no idea, dude.
The one that her boyfriend, Vanya's boyfriend.
Oh, him. Yeah, I don't remember his name either, man.
He's so forgettable. Anyway, like.
Yeah, that really means a lot coming from us too, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I completely forgot where I was going with that, so that's great.
That's the whole reason she came back to the academy was because of Allison.
Yeah, because Allison made her realize everything about him.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of realizing about characters, I kind of want to touch on Lila a bit.
Lila.
There was a lot of character development with her this episode.
There was. And
yeah, so I guess the question I kind of want to start off with is, do you think she's actually crazy?
I was thinking about that because do you know how Klaus used to act with his powers and everything? I had a theory. There was 43 women that got pregnant. We know about 7 of the children, and I think there was 43 women, but I think there's 44 kids.
Wow. So you think Lila's got some of them powers, huh?
I think. But that didn't make sense because we saw Hargreaves later in the episode, but this was way before any of the kids were born. This is the 1960s. They weren't born until 22 years later. Or 23.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so do you think that this was maybe an earlier experiment?
Maybe, or not experiment, but I think somehow she was one of the kids, but she also got sent back in time somehow. But the reason that I said that there's 44 kids is because I'm pretty sure that Five and Luther are twins. Like they were born.
What?
Yeah, I think that's a thing in the comics. I don't know if they're going to do anything with that in the TV show. But
they're twins?
I honestly, I think I remember seeing somewhere that they share the same mother. So which is weird, like brings like an entire new light to like the situation. This has nothing to do with the episode, but a new light to the situation of like that could happen. And we don't know how many kids there are because we only know about Five and Luther being twins. How many other twins were there? We only know that there was 43 women that were pregnant. We don't know how many of those women had twins or even triplets. So there's go ahead. There's so many kids that are unaccounted for, and I think Lila might be one of them.
Interesting. See, I'm kind of on a different branch of this theory. Like, I am getting kind of on board with the fact that she has powers, but I feel like this is going to go one of two ways. Either she was like an earlier like attempt at getting these super, children, and then she kind of suffered from the same thing that Vanya did, where like maybe she was too powerful, and so Hargreaves put her in the loony bin.
Yeah.
And then like years later, then he tried and got the actual Umbrella Academy. Or, and this is just something I thought off the top of my head, so this might be, what if Diego and Lila are just like siblings? Like, what if they came from the same mother?
Yeah.
I'm off the noggin, but like, wouldn't that be something?
But the reason that I'm saying that she might have powers is because like Klaus almost went crazy dealing with his powers, and then you see Lila in the episode in the closet like, the last time I heard voices, they put me away. And
exactly.
So she's going crazy, and I think that might be like a thing.
No, I'm on board with that. Yeah. I also think she has powers. That's very interesting.
I'd love to see more kids with more powers because I like superpowers.
Dude, just a whole army of like Umbrella Academy type superheroes saving the world this season. Wouldn't that'd be cool?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be cool. So I as like a filmmaker, I kind of have this perspective of like the show, and we've been kind of talking about it for about 10 minutes now. And so I do kind of want to reach, just like from a filmmaker's perspective, how much I appreciated going back to the format for the most part. of this episode that they kind of did in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, you have the exposition, you have like this multiple different plot lines going on. Obviously there's way more this season than season 2 because season 1, because they all have different stories going on.
Yeah.
They're kind of merging together, but then they also have like just a super nice fight scene, one pretty good song that's not like super mainstream, and then that was it. They didn't overdo it, and that was a big gripe I had last episode was, you know, like they're really overdoing the music here.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to know that that's not like every episode.
Yeah, they definitely are doing better with the music, and I was thinking about it more when you said about how the music just didn't like flow with it as well. Or like,
yeah,
it's just the more I thought about it, yeah, I definitely see it, and it definitely got better in episode 2.
For sure. Yeah, and there was just a lot of good stuff in this episode overall. Like the fights were great. The Swedes were intriguing.
They were.
The CGI of a decapitated head was pretty dope.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. I actually have a couple notes on that scene in particular.
Well, let's talk about it then.
I'm pretty sure it was Malfoy Boy that was
Malfoy
cooking.
Boy. Yeah.
And then there was the knife game, and the man's.
What was that about?
That was it. Like gets right beside his toe, and then he throws it and just yeets it into the guy's leg, and he just rips it out and doesn't react at all.
Yeah, and those are the people sent to get 5, because we kind of talk about that. The episode is so long that honestly, I forgot about the handler part for a little bit.
I did. That was my first note. It was the Well, you had mentioned about watching part of this episode, not realizing it was episode 2, and then you said I didn't know what you meant by this is a long recap of season 1. And
yeah,
and then I see that because they literally start with a scene from season 1. And
well, for those of you curious as to what he's talking about, so last time we sat down to have this conversation, I was meant to watch season 2 episode 1, as you do, and then I ended up watching season 1 episode 2 for about 15 minutes before I realized something's not right here.
Oh, I thought you meant you accidentally watched season 2 episode 2.
No.
Oh,
for 15 minutes, I watched season 1, episode 2 instead of season 2, episode 1. And I was like, yeah, I mean, this was an important part of the story, but like, they're spending a lot of time on this.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. Never mind. Oh, by the way, I found out I rewatched episode 1 of season 1. They did do that one song that you were talking about. It wasn't in episode 5, was it at the end of episode 1? So
such a good song too. So many people on Just Dance rejoiced to that song.
Yeah, I was watching it with Michaela, and that song came on. I was jamming out. It was great.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was very intrigued with I guess let's stay on the subject of like the handler and stuff. That I kind of hated that, actually. This is a hot take. That is some Deus Ex Machina type stuff that I am just not for. Oh, thank God you had a metal plate in your head, the exact place he shot you. Shut up.
Well, I think it's more like her entire skull is plated in metal, not just that specific spot.
Yeah, that still seems very like
It seems like I don't want to say
like very Shamalama Ding Dong, you know. It feels very cop-outy to me personally.
Like
I was kind of intrigued to have a different villain this season.
Yeah, and I don't think that's gonna change. Like, I think she's just gonna be like kind of like a side character, maybe, and more like.
You think so?
Like, she plays a big kind of. I want to compare her to 5 from season 1. She plays a decent sized part, but she's not like the biggest deal.
Like, she's important, but she's not like the main attraction.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess that makes sense.
The smoking fish is definitely going to be the best.
Oh,
I love
my
that.
God, AJ, what a guy!
A guy? A guy?
What a guy? Question mark? What a smoking fish! The way he smokes is both adorable and so intimidating.
Like, just imagine walking to an office and you see this fishbowl on top of a human body, and he just lights one up and puts it into a hole, and then you just see a fish just sucking up the air bubbles.
Yeah, the fact that like just a fish on a human's head, like a human's body, is not the weirdest part.
Yeah.
The weirdest part is the fact that he smokes. That's hilarious.
I was very impressed with the CGI of the fish. They actually moved his mouth with the words rather than just have the fish floating around and have the words just happen.
That technology's been around for a long time. Like, I remember Disney a long time ago, like talking animal movies has been their thing for a long time.
I don't know why I didn't expect it, but like it was very satisfying in a way.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. I totally agree with that. For sure.
Now, a couple other notable scenes was when after the footage was that Five. I wanted to talk about the thing that Hazel put in Five's pocket last episode.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot about it because it was a small detail, and it was like, I guess it might have been meant to be forgotten, and then you were like, oh yeah, that did happen. But
yeah, it's true.
When they were, after they did the footage up, and Lila just doing Elliot's nails.
That was so good.
That was great. It's, I don't know, I just found that really notable.
No, I totally agree. And like the bombshell that's dropped this episode with Hargreaves being there.
Yeah, that was
just Hargreaves being a part of the story now, not just as a dead dude in Klaus's like ghost world.
Yeah, that's
huge.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm not sure. Would Klaus be able to talk to Hargreaves in this situation because he's in the time that they're in?
No, he's not dead.
Yeah, in the time that they're in, he's not dead.
Yeah, I don't think he would be able to.
Yeah, but what about like that goes back to Ben? Like Ben, why? Like, I guess technically the kids at this point in time don't exist, so that makes sense.
Well, Ben also went back in time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We talked about Lila going crazy, and this was one of my favorite things. Yogurt.
Oh my gosh. Like Yogurt. What a phenomenal... Bro, she made me really stop and think. I had to pause the episode and take a walk. I was like, man, what is with Yogurt?
How did it know how to stop being milk?
It's still just mind-boggling because like I remember back in high school, I had a similar like conversation. So I used to do like debate and stuff. And part of debate is like there's speech and then there's debate. And I did a lot of speech, which is like acting and stuff like that. And me and my best friend at the time really like killed it with like the duet stuff. And I remember there was one year we did a piece called The Object Formerly Known as Potato. And yeah, we have to like make up like an intro kind of describing the piece before we get started. Mm-hmm. And I remember at one point, like we were talking about like how weird some food is. And I was like, yo, what's up with yogurt?
Oh, it's all coming together.
Like, yeah. And then Lila saying that, I was like, oh, like I'm having a panic attack. Like, what is yogurt? I thought it was the only one. Mom, you know?
Yeah. Oh. That was great.
But yeah, yogurt.
Lila's coming up to be one of my favorite characters, not gonna lie.
She's definitely like, she's like number 2 or 3 for me at this point.
She's getting close to Klaus.
Yeah, honestly, like Lila's already all the way up there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the relationship between her and Diego, like I mentioned this in the last episode, like how Diego's partner really like can be the opposite but the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Lila's introduced as this like actually insane character at the beginning, mm-hmm. but also like helps tie him into a calmer side of himself.
Yeah. And
so it's a really interesting relationship.
Yeah, it goes into, like you said about how like his partners can be like opposite but the same. It goes into mindset. Like there's villains that are actually villains, and then there's like good guys which do like good stuff, and then there's villains that have the mindset that what they're doing is right, but they're doing it the wrong way. So it might be a situation like that. Like Patch was the good guy, and then she's like, Lila is not a bad guy, but she's someone that like she does things, but the right thing but the wrong way. So
Kind of like
because
an anti-hero?
yeah,
Or?
yeah, so because like she said to Diego in the car, like, why not just kill him? And it's like, because he hasn't done anything yet.
But I mean, she makes a good point.
She
You know?
does. Like,
Yeah.
if you just kill him, then. But like the thing is like we know that like we don't know if he was actually the person to kill him. So killing Lee Harvey Oswald doesn't necessarily save the president.
Exactly. And
So
Diego still has a moral
he
compass.
does. He doesn't want to just kill people, like he said. Like he hasn't committed any crimes yet. He doesn't deserve to die.
Exactly.
He's innocent so far.
No, exactly.
And that was interesting.
I do also think that's interesting. Speaking of interesting, I kind of want to pose this question to you, and this is like the last question I have like written down on my notes. Do you think that the Swedes like are they like some superhuman thing? Like, can they not feel pain?
Well,
like, what do you think's going on with that?
Well, they do work for the commission. So, like, who knows? Like, that Fishman has been in power for how long? Did they say? Months?
Years, I think.
Years? Was it?
Maybe
was
months.
it years? I think it was only months because
Maybe it was months.
it was either like 4 months or 2 years.
What a gap!
Yeah, like I don't know why, but like 2 years is just something that's in my head, and that might be how long one of the characters has been in 1960s, or
I think so.
like I don't know. That 2 years is sticking in my head, but
I think Klaus has been there for 2 years
2 or
because
3.
he was in there for 2 or 3. Because I remember like one of the big things was that he like gave a sermon as Jesus
Yeah.
in 61, and now it's 63. So
Yeah. Which if it was a big sermon, that leans me towards 3 years, because then like he would have taken a year or so to gain that following.
for sure, leave it to Klaus to like mess with time.
Honestly,
like
I mean, to be fair,
like taking advantage of like what he knows is gonna happen.
yeah, they're all messing with time. Like Allison with taking advantage of what she knows about the movements and everything.
I mean, I would argue that Luther and Vanya aren't.
They're not.
really...
Yeah, they're not doing much. I was gonna say that Luther and Vanya aren't doing much. Klaus is being his own Jesus, and Diego's trying to save the president. But that's
which is like arguably the biggest thing. Like, we could talk about Klaus being this public figure or whatever, but like Diego's literally trying to rewrite a major part of history.
That might have some. That I honestly think that he might save the president. And then that's why, because something to do with the president being saved, and then something happening with the Soviets, and that's why they attack.
Do you think that they're gonna talk about like the CIA conspiracy? You think they're gonna make that canon? Like the CIA is like, why ain't he dead? And then the Soviets are like, you said you were going to kill president, and now we're going to kill you. And
maybe I honestly like
warfare.
that just clicked. Like that honestly might be a part of why the world is ending again.
Oh, I mean, like, that's a major part of it. And, like, it's even more so confirmed now because of the tape that Hazel put in Five's pocket.
Yeah.
Like Five himself said he died to get him that footage, and it's of JFK, so that's obviously a big deal.
Yeah. I remember in the trailer, I don't know if you watched the trailer, but I think I heard, it was Five that said, like, our entire lives have revolved around the assassination of JFK. And
interesting.
Like
so they've been saying it from the very beginning, basically.
Yeah, like that ties in with Hargreaves being there. Like their entire existence revolves around someone that was involved with the assassination.
Do you know whose life my entire life revolves around? Baby Pogo. What an amazing character Baby Pogo is.
I didn't write down Baby Pogo. That would have been someone that I wrote down in all caps. And
dude, just like the awesome fight between Hargreaves and Diego, and then just Pogo just gangster jumping out of a window. He's like, "Yeah, what's up? You're coming with me." And then Pogo's just like, "Ooh," you know.
And
I thought that was so cool.
That was Hargreaves already had Pogo before that.
Yeah, because Pogo's not like a baby.
No.
In that, like
Diego
he's a little bit older.
Diego was going through Hargreaves' stuff. And then found Pogo, and then they fought. And that goes back to, like, season 1 when Pogo was like, in every way, I owe Hargreaves my life. or something.
Yeah. I mean, like, he basically gave him in, like, I don't want to say intelligence, because, you know, obviously chimps have intelligence, but he gave him, like, super intelligence,
the ability
basically.
to, what is it? The ability to express it.
He basically, he made him autonomous, pretty much.
Yeah, that was...
Which is, you know, he you know, we've known from the start that he owes Hargreaves his life, quite literally.
Yeah.
But, like, how old does that make Pogo? Because Pogo's, like, I don't know, maybe, like, I want to say 2, maybe, in this. And that's, like, what, 70 years? So Pogo's, like, 75 years old.
To be fair, he didn't look young in season 1.
Yeah, but he's a chimpanzee!
That's right. But what the whole experiment stuff making him talk, that might have had something to do with it. He's obviously not a regular monkey.
No. Everything in My Umbrella Academy needs to make perfect physical sense. It needs to make scientific sense. Everything else in this series is fine. You know, injecting someone with gorilla DNA and sending them to the moon, fine. But this chimpanzee better have the regular lifespan, or I swear I will flip this desk.
Yep. The only thing that matters is the monkey. Monkey.
Dude, monkeys are my favorite animals, dude. I love monkeys.
I don't really have a favorite animal.
You don't have a favorite animal?
Like, if I had to pick an animal, it would be a gecko.
Dude, what are people gonna, like, get you presents of when you're old and no one knows, and, like, you just don't have a personality anymore except for an animal?
I don't know.
Dude, my stepmom's at that point. We just get her dolphin stuff.
Oh, that's great.
You laugh this off. I'm being serious, man. She loves dolphins. And I love Baby Pogo.
Baby Pogo is pretty great. I have two more things. Did Elliot's Nails, AJ? I have 2 more things on my notes. First, since we're already at the end of talking about the end of the episode, might as well start at the end and then go, like, back a bit. Diego at the end, I don't like that at all.
That he
was bleeding
what
out.
A cliffhanger. What a cliffhanger. I feel like that could have been resolved differently. I don't know why his first thought was, I'm gonna stab this dad. Like, why?
I find it surprising that Hargreaves didn't react to him saying dad. Like,
I don't think he said it very loud.
I don't think so. But, like, it might have been a thing, like, he didn't react to it at all. Like, you would have at least, like, seen his lips moving, maybe. And, like, I don't know. I feel like he would have reacted, and then, but he just said dad and then got stabbed, and then he was amateur.
Pretty much. Which was, look, sorry, poor Diego. That was awesome.
That was great.
Seeing a Hargreaves kick what is supposed to be the best, like, combat guy out of the entire academy, just laying him out. That was pretty cool.
Everybody that Diego fought in season 1, Diego won.
Oh, 100%.
And then Hargreaves just, to be fair, who taught Diego how to fight?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, Hargreaves taught all of them.
Yeah, so Hargreaves knows everything Diego knows to an extent. Like, everything that he learned outside of the academy is obviously Hargreaves doesn't know about. But to an extent, everything that Diego knows, Hargreaves knows. So
exactly.
Like, just
that is a stressful cliffhanger for sure.
I don't like that. Like, I'm excited to watch episode 3.
Me too.
And my last one is Sissy knows about Vanya. Like, I feel like there might be some deeper connection with them, and she doesn't seem as innocent as she's making herself out to be.
I mean, I think we've been kind of calling it from the start, too. Like, something's going on with Sissy.
Like, Sissy is, like, I didn't know what they called her last episode, but, like, I don't trust Sissy. I didn't trust her last, and I will say it up until the point that she does something or she dies innocent.
See, I think I remember last episode you and I kind of had a disagreement on that. Like, you think that way, and I just think that
you thought the husband might be. I feel like
I do.
The husband is too kind of like an ignorance is bliss situation to
he's a dumb man.
He is.
He's a dumb guy.
Like, what was he talking about at the dinner table that Sissy was just like, yo, shut up.
I think he was talking about their son, and just like he was like making fun of like the son to his face.
Yeah. I don't know, but and then I just
Yeah,
don't.
Sissy's. I just think she's a strong, independent woman, and people don't like it because they're in the '60s, and women know their place.
Yeah,
But that's just me.
I don't trust her, and
You
like I
think she's
said,
evil? I just think that she's trying to be her own lady, and that's fine.
yeah, I'll like I said, I don't trust Sissy until she does something to prove that I'm right,
Mm.
or she dies innocent. So,
Well, yeah, that's true. And that's fair. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
and see who's right.
Yeah, yeah. The first like major disagreement of this podcast here.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
this is the only one so far.
Oh yeah. Which is amazing because I think you and I are looking at the series from two pretty different standpoints, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm, obviously looking at it more of like from a film standpoint, like, oh, how do things look compositionally? Do the plots make sense? And like you're coming in with knowledge of some of the comics. You're
Any.
rewatching episodes. I mean, it's still more than me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And you're creating these really cool theories too. So
I've always enjoyed theories, and like I've always enjoyed time travel stuff. So this is my.
Yeah, that makes one of us. Time travel hurts my brain. My tiny, tiny brain.
That's why I really enjoyed Avengers Endgame. I love The Flash because they do a bunch of time stuff there. Just anything with time, my forte. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it.
Well, at the end of the day, the one thing we can agree on, Baby Pogo is yes.
Yes. Pogo, yes, baby.
Yeah, well, I think that's our cue to kind of wrap up this episode.
Yeah, I think so too. A little bit shorter.
Do you want to... it was a bit shorter, but, like, there's not a lot to... There's not as much to talk about as a first episode.
I can see by the end of this, the episodes will be getting closer to an hour. Because
there'll
be a lot more to talk about once all the Academy starts to get back together.
100%.
And we find out that Lila has powers, because that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, and then Lila's also Diego's sister.
Yep.
Yeah, because, now that Allison and Luther aren't together, we have to have some kind of brother-sister relationship in the Academy. On that note, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of the Umbrella Academy Season 2 podcast.
Yep.
If you're not subscribed to the second channel, do it.
This is the quality content that you aspire to watch.
Yeah, of course. Leave a like, comment your personal thoughts and opinions. Whose side are you on with the sissy debate? And should we say goodbye for now?
Yes, we should. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye for now.
See you next week on the podcast. Yeet.